soap operas. You may have watched one with your grandma at some point in time, or maybe you were homesick from school and Family Feud wasn't on yet. But if you're like me, you've wondered at some point in time, what does soap have to do with anything? Well, back in the day, Procter & Gamble's soap brand, Oxydol, sponsored radio daytime dramas. Operas are known for being dramatic, henceforth came the name soap operas. And ironically, 4 years ago today exactly, As the World Turns ended its 54-year television run, which was the last of Procter & Gamble company-owned soap operas on television. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Megan McNinch. This is my partner, Zach Raiola. We are recruitment officers for Procter & Gamble. Today, we're going to hopefully educate and inform you about some of the company's history, the potential growth, and some of our newest innovations as a company. And hopefully it'll raise your interest as potential interns to come to our company. So I'm going to start it off talking about a little bit of the company profile. So Procter & Gamble was founded in 1837 in Cincinnati, Ohio, by a soap maker and a candle maker. By the year 1859, about 20 years in the business, we accrued about $1 million in sales, which was a really big milestone, and that was with only 80 employees. According to Marketplace.org, we also have ties with the Civil War. We had a contract with the Union Army to provide soap and candles, and this immediately established brand loyalty because when soldiers would return home, they and their families would then purchase Procter & Gamble products that they were familiar with. So I'm going to move on to talk a little bit more about our branding. Our CEO, A.G. Lafley, was quoted in the Wall Street Journal in the past year for saying that it's difficult for us as a company to even pinpoint exactly how many brands we have. However, we've made it a goal within the last year to cut back about 100 brands so we can focus in on our top 70 to 80 performers like Tide and Pampers. But number one overall, our goal as a company is to improve the lives of our consumers every day in small but meaningful ways. So now I'm going to pass it over to Zach, and he can talk a bit more about the growth and innovation going on in the company.
Thank you, Megan. Now I'd like to talk to you, all of y'all about the growth of Procter & Gamble. So as Megan mentioned earlier, in 1859, Procter & Gamble was operating at a capacity of only 80 employees. Today, here in 2014, Procter & Gamble is operating at a capacity of 118,000 employees across 80 different countries worldwide. According to the Procter & Gamble annual reports, in 2000, Procter & Gamble reported a net sales of $39.95 billion. In 2014, they reported a net sales of $83.06 billion. So as you can see, in as little as 14 years, we were able to over double our net sales. You may be wondering how we're able to accomplish such numbers, but it all remains in the continuous refining of our business strategy. According to Hoover Database's company profile on Procter & Gamble, we like to push all of our resources into our 40 best-selling brands. These are brands that generate $500 million or more annually. 23 of these 40 brands are brands that generate $1 billion or more each year. These 40 brands represent 85% of Procter & Gamble's total net sales each year. Brands that fall below this metric are typically sold off, and this is how we're able to continuously increase our net sales by significant amounts each year. Moving on, I'd now like to talk to you about the innovation of Procter & Gamble. According to the IRI Pacesetters list for 2014, Procter & Gamble launched 7 out of 10 of the top 10 Pacesetters for 2014. These are non-food items that were best sellers. Coming in at number 1 was Procter & Gamble's Tide Pods. Tide itself has showed up on this list 8 times since 2005. Perhaps more innovative is the way we like to approach our social responsibility, and in particular, animals in research. According to Procter & Gamble's Animals in Research Policy brochure, 99% of all safety assessments at Procter & Gamble are done without the use of animals. And the other 1% is required by federal law that we use some kind of animal. We also like to share our discoveries with others in the industry on this issue so that they can benefit from our progress in it. This shows to be true through our 1,000 scientific publications available for everybody else to investigate on the issue. We've also developed 50 non-animal testing methods and have invested $330 million into the cause. And now I'd like to pass it back to Megan so that she can conclude the presentation.
Thank you, Zach. So I'm going to wrap it up for us now. Today we talked about the history of the company, established in 1837, and how we really grow and succeed based on our brand loyalty. We talked about company growth and how we've gone from 80 employees to now around 118,000 employees. And we also discussed how our company is constantly innovating to meet the demands of our consumers. So thank you for your time today. Does anyone have any questions?